Hello everyone, welcome back. I don't know if you can see outside. We have a little bit of a snowstorm out there. And I just got back. I came back from the gym and I was a little bit surprised. So you see I'm a little bit from it, but it was a nice refreshing walk, that's all I can say. So 1 month into my no-buy, and I'm actually not going to talk about that very much today. I'm going to talk about something different, but I just wanted to say it's going really, really well. I don't even think about it very much. And it saves me a lot of money, which is a reason why a lot of people do a no-buy. It is to reset the budget and I think it's just also a very great opportunity to reset looking at everything that you have. So if you're using up things at home, like we are, this is an opportunity to also look and see, like when you run out of something, do you need to replace it? Do you have to? Or can you skip? Or can you replace it with something zero waste? Because like I said, when you want to live more sustainable, the answer is not to take everything and throw it out and start new. It is to use up everything you have. So here's a great opportunity of this to, whenever you run out of something, to really question yourself. For me, I question like, why do I have so much of everything? And a lot of my things are sustainable, but I have, like I said, I found a lot of cleaning supplies. It's like, well, you don't, I mean, and I'm the first one to preach that you don't need so many things for cleaning, but for some reason I did end up having a little bit more cleaning supplies than I thought I did. So it's good to, go through and using up what I have, and it saves a lot of money. Another way that you can save money, and I'm going to say that is something that obviously I've been preaching all along for years and years and years, and that my family have been doing. It is to live a sustainable life, in our case, a zero waste life. And here are my zero waste practices that also saves me money, and I wanted to share those with you. So first of all, use cloth paper towels. So we have been using cloth paper towels in the kitchen since Noah was born. 15 years ago, I bought my first ones. And back then it was like one person making them. And I happened to run across her and I bought them. And they were like the kind of thing you just snap on so you can make it into a roll of paper. And I did that in the beginning, and then I realized that, you know what, I'm just going to keep them loose in a drawer. It's like, instead of sitting there snapping them. They look nicer when they're snapped on, obviously, but I keep them in the drawer to just make them more convenient for the kids and for me. So anyway, this is something we've been using. So for 15 years, I have not bought paper towels, kitchen paper towels. And I know that they don't cost per se very much, one, but if you think about it, that's 15 years that I haven't bought paper towels. And I actually haven't bought napkins or anything either, because I also have those cloths. So that saves me a lot of money over all that time. And I would never regret it. My kids are growing up on this. They have never had a paper towel except when they've been over friends' houses. But for them, it's second nature. And for me, and I would never regret that one, but it does save you money. Okay, second one is repair. This is something in the beginning when we became a zero waste family, which is in 2016. So yeah, 10 years. Anyway, I wasn't so good at this, and I didn't know. Like, I know how to sew a button, but I even to fix holes and stuff like that. I just didn't do it because I didn't think I had time, I guess. I don't know. But now I got so good at repairing, and actually during homeschool, during the COVID, a friend of mine who is also a handwork teacher, she came to our house to do handwork thing, and I said, can you teach them how to mend things? Because we had socks, and she actually taught us to mend. So now I do repair and mend, but not only clothes, but repair a lot of different things. Liam has gotten so good at repairing things like chairs and tables and all kinds of things, and painting over things, scratches. And it's kind of like a really fun thing to fix things. I have to say that it is really, really fun to repair and fix things. And it saves a lot of money, because when you don't throw things away because they're broken, and replace it with something, obviously that's going to save you a lot of money. So anyway, I would say that if you're interested in learning to repair, Google. There are a million videos and how-to instructions on the web out there. There are people who live for this. So learning how to fix and repair things, not that hard. You just have to have patience, I guess, and the will to do it. So that saves me a lot of money, obviously. And I actually had one of my favorite dresses. I have a denim dress starting to get like a little hole, and I actually patched over a little like flower on it, so it looks really pretty. I think it would say that mending socks is something that saved me a lot of money and a lot of socks, because I used to throw them out and buy new socks. Now the socks last much longer because we do mend them. So anyway, that's one. Another one is to shop secondhand, and I'm not just talking about clothes. So this week, the one thing that happened during my no-buy, it is that my jeans broke. And they broke actually beyond repair because they broke in the butt. And so I have patched them and mended them, but they are beyond repair now. So, and I've had them for years and years and years. Well, I'm not going to go buy brand new jeans. I am going to go and buy secondhand jeans. I'm going to wait until dinner is over because I still have my no-buy, and I've been making it on the pants that I have, and I will see. Maybe I won't buy some new jeans, but if I buy new jeans, I'm going to get them secondhand, because when I went secondhand shopping with my friend Kim, there's a video about that. Because Stockholm has so many secondhand stores. One thing I noticed was how many jeans there are. There are like walls and walls with jeans, because that seemed to be an item that people throw away or donate a lot. So anyway, I'm gonna buy my next pair of jeans from there instead. That would save the planet and would save me a lot of money. But also buying secondhand. So I buy secondhand gifts, I buy secondhand furniture, toys when the kids had that, bikes, china, shoes, you name it. It saves a lots and lots of money. And it's something kind of like, and I'm really glad that my kids are growing up in an era where secondhand shopping is actually cool. Especially here in Stockholm, because again, like I said, there are so many secondhand shops. They're like high-end and really cheap ones, and there's something in between, and it's fashionable, and they sell everything, like I said, from books to clothes to shoes to toys to furniture and everything in between. So anyway, that is a very big money-saving tip. All right, next one is obviously grow food. I know, and you don't have to have a green thumb to grow food. I have to say that. And by the way, if you want to learn grow food and actually take it to the next level, I do have my gardening course. But I want to say that growing food, so I live in the middle of the city. I have a patio, you can actually see it behind me here. And that's what I grow on. Obviously not right now. It's amazing how much food I can grow in that little space, and that actually saves a lot of money. And I know that you can do gardening in a way that will not save you money if you're buying, new soil and seeds and fertilizers and mulch and pots and everything. I don't do that. We are zero waste gardens, meaning that all the fertilizer and mulch are like either from nature or I made it myself. Okay, so I don't spend a dime on that, because why pay for fertilizer when you can make it at home from banana peels, for example, or just grass clippings, or make your own compost. So it's like, but also pots is something I find that people are happy to give away. So if you put it out there, like I'm looking for pots, or even for me, it's like the recycling room. My neighbors will put out pots all the time. I haven't paid for a pot in a very, very long time. And the seeds, I just save the seeds, or I do seed sharing, meaning get some other seeds. But also, even if you buy the seeds, like I'm talking about a package of seeds, are just a few like dollars, and it will, like, for example, a package of tomato seeds that will like make you more tomato plants than you would know what to do with. So but so I can say like you can definitely grow food on no money. And during the winter now, we do grow indoors and we grow herbs, especially. I love herbs. And you haven't checked out my video on why we grow herbs and what we do with them and how you grow herbs, you should check that out. But also growing microgreens. Microgreens is a beautiful, wonderful vegetable. It is actually the baby plant of an actual plant. And you can pretty much grow microgreens from pretty much any seeds and have a lot of fun with them. You can make them spicy, you can make them green, you can make them bigger. Like sunflower seeds are like longer and my kids love those and they love to just munch on them. And then we have my favorite are the broccoli sprouts, microgreens. And again, I have a whole video on how to grow this and I'm going to link all of this in the description below. But this will save you a lot of money, even if you just grow herbs, okay? And it is something so cool about growing your own food. Even if you like growing a couple of herbs indoors, or if you're going on the patio or on the balcony, you can grow food. And that saves a lot of money, especially if you do it the sustainable way and not buying everything new. Okay, comes for the next one. Foraging. Foraging is something we love, and I think I grew up foraging. I think that as a Swede, you're naturally into foraging. And once you learn about foraging, and you want to make sure you're safe. I want to say that the first thing, like if you're going to start foraging, if you're new to this, you want to find a book. You want to find someone who also knows about foraging, because yes, there are poisonous plants out there. But for foraging, we forage, like I am the kind of person, I will only forage things that I like 100% know what they are. So nettles, for example, it's kind of hard to miss those for more of the reason than the way they look, but also that they sting. But right now I don't forage obviously so much, but a couple of months is coming. So then I will forage, but we forage everything from berries to apples and cherries, because we have a lot of that here in Stockholm. To greens like nettles and elderberries and elderflowers and mushrooms. So my whole freezer is filled with goodies that I have frozen, like that I have foraged. But also we made a lot of our own tea blends, and teas, just regular teas from like chamomile that we forage. And nettles is a wonderful tea, for example. But I also use, like, nettle is something that I use for cooking. Also, I put it in my smoothies. I put it in as a green in when I'm cooking. And we drink it as tea. But it's like very usable, like a very versatile, I should say, plant. And also you can use to make it into fertilizer. So anyway, so foraging is something that definitely saves money. It's free food from nature. Obviously, you want to forage responsibly, and you can definitely check out my videos or find that there's a lot of information out there on the web about foraging. Okay, next one is going to be refill. Okay, so refill, and I have heard this so many times, like, oh, refill doesn't save money. Yes, it does. When you buy things, and first of all, in refill, you can buy just what you need instead of like a big, especially when it comes to food, big bag or something, or spices. But also you can refill a lot of all your personal care and cleaning supplies. There's so many different things. So for example, I refill my deodorant. This is like, I love this. So I get this in the metal container, and then you can see it's almost out now. And then I can buy the refill. So I don't pay for the container, I only pay for the deodorant, and I can even make my own if I wanted to. And I would say also dental floss and my toothpaste, I buy it in refill. But dental floss, this is like, again, metal container, buy that. It doesn't cost me a whole lot of. And also, this is not made from plastic. And I'm sorry, I don't want plastic in my mouth. So I don't do that. Last but not least, my last tip is to replace shampoo and conditioner and your soap with bars. This is my conditioner bar. It's mango. Oh my God, it smells so good and it's so nice. So they last longer. It's just a fact. They last longer and they are cheaper than when you buy, shampoo and everything in bottles. And it's like also, like when it comes to these plastic bottles, besides that they are plastic, is that also it's hard to get the last little bit out. And they're not cheap. So anyway, this is what I do. And I do not have, like, I do need conditioner because my hair is not naturally straight and it gets like, I look like a troll in no time. So, but I'm really happy to report that there are conditioner bars. There are even like these are shampoo and conditioner bar in one. They haven't worked so great for me, but I would say this I really like. Let's see what my brand is. Silmachi, I don't know, but that's the brand that I have. I don't sell it, obviously. Anyway, so this is my last tip. I hope this was helpful. And I'd like to know if you have any sustainable swaps that you have done that have saved you a lot of money or a little money, because you have to look at this way. Don't think about how much you're saving in one day, 1 week, or 1 month. Look at it, how much you save over 10 years, because that is, you know, that will give you a more accurate amount of savings. And the thing is, like, one savings might not, like this might not add up, but like all of these together, it saves it makes a lot of little dents and saves me a lot of money. And I am a single mom with 3 teenagers. They ain't cheap, I would say. And I'm really trying to reset my budget and saving even more money. But I did find that once we went zero waste, we did start saving a lot of money and living a lot cheaper. But now I want to take it to even the next level to save more money. And so anyway, I would love to hear if you have any sustainable swaps. And also, is it anything you would like me to cover in this next year? Any topics that I haven't talked about, or maybe I talked about them, but you would like to hear more about it? Please let me know. I'm here. I want to answer questions. I hope the video was helpful. And everyone stay safe, stay cool, and hang in there. If you're doing your no buy, low buy, whatever path you're on, I'm proud of you. And we're together, we're doing this, and you're not alone. And let's do this journey together. Okay, bye.